Guys, banged out last night. Caught a nice little dub. We've been not necessarily struggling, but a slower week for us, at least at the start of the week, but made some profits back. We're going to go over it, of course. We're going to go over the trade that I took, why I took it, when I took it, how I executed or how I managed the trade, everything along those lines. So I'll just throw up the screen right away, throw up this. I think we're live on YouTube. We're good. What's up, everyone? What's up, people? Who caught the DAX trade last night? Anyone catch it? I caught it in my Discord. I even told you guys before I left stream where I was going to enter. It's a nice little trade. We're going to go over it. It did end up hitting full TPs, but we're going to go over it because I did not necessarily get the full 1 and 2, right? Just based off my management plan. So let's just go straight into it. All right, first things first, again, we identify that price was still bullish, at least within, obviously we had a break structure here. We had a pullback. We had another break. We had a pullback that came into equilibrium. And then again, we saw on the lower time frames that we did end up changing character right here. Price did end up selling off at the opening of London. We never broke these lows. Instead, we kind of liquidated it, which honestly is really nice to see. And I told you guys once we broke that high, I was going to shoot. I did end up shooting at 101. I did end up moving to break even, and I took half my position off. So I still ended up capitalizing. No, there will be a trade tonight. Hopefully there'll be a trade tonight. So again, I profited here. The rest went to 1 to 2, but as you can see, price did end up coming back down. And honestly, I can't complain. Like, yes, in this case, if we would have had our stops open, we would have hit our full 1 to 2. But ultimately, this kind of sets us up for today because we see that price did end up making a new high on that 15-minute. Had a pullback, which again took the rest of my position out of break even. But again, the reason I have my management plan in place, the reason I take profits at 101 is because of situations like this, right? At the end of the day, price didn't have to necessarily pull back and continue higher. It could have just pulled back and absolutely destroyed us, and we would have taken an unnecessary loss. So again, now we're seeing higher prices, and boom, we're shooting higher. So what am I looking at today? Being that we made a new high here, we already see that price is pulling back. We can go down to the lower time frames too and see that price is now starting to align. We're now seeing some breaks of these highs. We're now seeing another break of a high. So ultimately, what I like to see is I want to see price pull back. And if we do end up re-breaking these highs at open, guess what I'm doing? I'm going to shoot. Okay. The reason I'm going to shoot is ultimately because, again, from the hourly standpoint, we're still bullish. We're bullish on the 15-minute. We've been trending very nicely. What's up, Witcher? And if we go to the daily, again, the daily is bullish as well. And ultimately, what is our main target? What is our main goal here? Is to come and take these highs. I'm not saying it's going to happen tonight, but ultimately, we know based off price action, it should, in theory, come into those highs and take those highs at some point in time. If not this week, next week. So we got a really nice trade, I think, brewing on DAX. It's just a matter of if, and honestly, when. Again, like price could just absolutely rip up from here, and I'm not going to just take it. Okay, we already broke those highs, so therefore I'm not going to take it if we just rip higher. At this point, I do need to see price pull back. It'd be nice to see price pull back, fill this imbalance, and again, just rip higher. That'd be perfect. And if we see that, we see that. Okay, can you guys hear me? Let's make sure you guys can hear me. Fire. All right. So UK 100. UK 100 actually ended up ripping higher, guys. Yesterday, I told you guys that I was more leaning a sell bias, even though we were still bullish. I was still understanding of the fact that we were still bullish. And it goes to show that price did end up continuing bullish, okay? I, again, didn't really have any entries. There was a potential entry down here. Didn't really like it. Here on this after break, I didn't like it either, just based off how candles reacted. Again, price did end up playing higher, but ultimately that doesn't mean I have to enter. So today, obviously, we're still bullish. Like, we're still trending bullish here. Buys can definitely still continue to take place. But what am I looking at? I'm looking at the fact that the 15-minute is now bullish. Okay, same thing with the 30-minute. And what could we potentially expect if structure flips within that internal structure? We can see that price was trending on the 5-minute here. We had this last high being made. Ultimately, if we see a break of these lows at London Open or a little bit after London Open, I could and would confidently take these sells at the equilibrium of this new bearish leg. Just because, again, let me take a step back. If this break happens before London Open, then I would have to wait for a re-break of the lows, which ultimately, at that point, I may or may not take it because of the fact that our 1-to-1 does come further past the equilibrium. And again, we are still bullish, so we could see price sell off momentarily, tap equilibrium, and just absolutely fucking rip higher. And that's why I would ultimately prefer to enter at the equilibrium of a new bearish leg, because it gives us room to catch our 101 And again, we go to break even, we take some profits. So in that case, if price did not end up coming into 102, we know we're definitely still going to profit. We're still going to have a risk-free trade. If it does come into 102, great. It just adds to our profit. So we'll see what happens. Again, we need to see a break here, right? On DAX, we need to see a pullback. So we'll see what happens. Again, price is going to continue to expand potentially, and that's fine. If we see a better break, even better for us, and we just take that move higher, okay? So let's go over NAS. NAS, guys, yesterday, I don't know if you guys remember, I was looking for buys. Price ended up buying up. Or was it? Price ended up buying up, at least momentarily. We were looking for buys. Again, if you guys remember, we did end up taking buys at these lows. We got taken out. Price consolidated shortly after we barely got taken out. And price ended up ripping into our original TPs. I was looking for another position. Again, price did not ever give us the entry, and it did end up continuing higher. It is what it is. Can't do much about that. But again, it goes to show the data was correct. I mean, the bias was correct as far as expecting those buys within that bullish trend. Obviously, we then shortly after flipped going into New York, but I mean, you know, that is kind of anticipated. So today's bias. Oops. All right. We definitely have been a little bit bearish here within this leg. But one thing I'm looking at is, again, we did talk about this yesterday where we were very much bullish. We knew we could have anticipated that pullback. And now that we've completed the pullback, we're still within this bullish trend, at least within an hourly standpoint. Breakout, pullback, and ultimately we can expect price to continue here. So as I go down the lower time frames, I'm ultimately already seeing some very nice signs of bullish pressure. We're seeing a nice little bottom wick that led to another bullish push. So I can go down to the lower time frames and see what we're working with. What are we looking at the lower time frames? First thing I'm seeing is we can delete this. See a nice little break of structure here. See a pullback. And now it looks like we are continuing higher. So obviously, I'm going to play this 5-minute leg here. We're breaking out of these highs. First things first is, again, we could wait for that pullback and then take the continuation of buys. But this is the beauty of trading on the 1 minute, is now that we know that we're bullish on the 5 minute, if we were to get that pullback, ultimately we could try to catch that pullback. So if we were to come down and break this low here and we have some type of retracement or bearish internal structure, I will take a sell down into this equilibrium. 100%. It's just a matter of, are we going to get that? Okay, so first, again, like we need to see a little bit more confirmation as far as a break, pullback, and continuation. So let's get everything ready. What's up, Henry? What's up, guys? Guys, it's end the week with a banger. Yesterday was a nice trade. Let's end the week here, getting some profits back. Again, we're still going to end the month great. Even if we lose today, we could lose 4 times today and still end the month up. Granted, that's not going to happen, obviously, but we'll see what happens. Again, need to see that pullback first, and then we'll take the re-break. So don't enter impulsively. What's up? But again, guys, if you guys did not catch DAX yesterday with me, you missed out. Again, I did tell you guys right before I ended stream. I did also call it out in my personal Discord. It was a nice trade. I definitely have to reopen my trading view. I still have train. I'm going to try to open it today and see if I can. Hell yeah, Ambassador. Again, I also have a YouTube channel. If if you don't have time today, you can go and always check out like the way I kind of trade and stuff like that. I'll link you the YouTube. I'll link you my latest video. And the reason I'm going to link you my latest video is because, again, I do have a giveaway. I will be dropping a video tomorrow. So this is, I know I was supposed to drop it today. I got busy. But again, you still have a chance to enter the giveaway if you haven't yet. 50 cents, crew. 50 cents. Yeah, what's up, George? George, you don't really trade DAX, huh? We ended up ripping DAX last night. UK 100 ended up ripping too. Did you catch UK 100 buys? Give me a second, guys. 1 second, chat. All right, let's see what happens, guys. Let's see what goes on. Only trade DAX when you do, bro. I didn't, unfortunately, miss entry on UK100. Yeah, I liked UK100 buys, but at the same time, like, it was still a little bit skeptical just based off how we initially reacted. Again, if you guys don't remember, when we did end up opening yesterday, we had a nasty reaction at these highs. Like, we just did not want to break for the longest time. We were just holding, literally for 5 fucking hours. And that just kind of strayed me away. I mean, yes, price did end up breaking higher, and that obviously could be the case in a lot of cases. But at the same time, you know, price didn't have to, right? It was giving us an early sign that price may have not wanted to go higher. But now, up in this area, honestly, I do like targeting this pullback. I really do think it's nice, especially because if we look at the 4 hour, even if we were to continue bullish, I can expect the 4 hour to come down, rebalance this previous 4 hour candle, since we left a pretty nice area of imbalance. And again, by that point, we should already be out of the trade, depending on where entry is and stuff like that. I'm just hoping we don't see break before open. And if we do, it is what it is. We could still shoot, especially because we know that the 4 hour, it doesn't have to, but it should end up coming down to rebalance this entire leg, where we'll at least still catch our 101. And if we do end up going for our 1 to 2, again, we'll be at a risk-free trade. We'll still have some profits if worst case scenario comes around and it does end up flipping back bullish. But again, like, it could ultimately just continue to sell off as well too. We've been bullish for a long time now. Looks like we are seeing that break now, which is fine. We're definitely going to see that break prior to London Open. And that just means now I still need to see the pullback, but the entry is just going to have to be the break of the last low before that pullback. It's just what it means. And again, this definitely is playing it a bit riskier, because again, like, if let's say price prints down here, we have to take the break of the lows right here. Our 101 is still well within discounted price. Obviously, price can come deeper within discount, but it ultimately could just come to 50% and fucking rip back up, right? But I'm willing to take that risk. A lot of that is just based off the 4 hour and how we're now flipping with a nice top wick. We have a lot of imbalance in the previous 4 hour. I think we are good to see price push down decently far. So at least into our 101. Obviously, if price just absolutely fucking rips down into equilibrium before having that pullback, I'm just not going to take it. Simple as that. We are coming back here. Looks like we could just end up selling off into equilibrium. If that's the case, it is what it is. Obviously, price can still definitely run bearish and still play out with our bias, but I'd rather play it safer. And again, like, it is of quality still. At this point, the fact that it sold off that far, I'm almost debating not taking it, other than the fact that I know the 4 hour is definitely looking pretty bearish right now. But it's just a matter of, are we going to facilitate the pullback and then come right back down? Or are we just going to continue lower right off the open? Again, we know that the open's definitely going to see a lot of volume. If it just shoots down, I'm not taking it. As far as NAS, let's peep NAS. NAS, again, I want to see a break of this low here. We see a break of that low, that confirms internal bearish price action, and then we could look for some sells down. Ultimately, I'm favoring DAX here, just because, again, we've been bullish so long within the 15-minute. Obviously, we could wait for a 15-minute break here, but just the way I'm looking at it, price, again, did create that new 15-minute, have that pullback, created a new high, had another pullback, and it's ultimately just been holding at the 50%, and now we're seeing internal price, bullish price action. It looks solid. I almost like don't want to take this just because, yeah, we're just playing it risky at that point. It just sold off a little bit too much. And the thing is, I have a fucking feeling price is going to open up with a pullback and rip right back down. And if I don't take it, again, like at the end of the day, it's really about quality over quantity. But, what's up, Miss Jinx? What's up, what's up? You catch DAX buys last night? I think DAX is... I'm not going to take it yet, guys. If I even do take it. All right, we have open. I knew we were going to have the fucking pullback. I fucking knew it. I don't think I'm going to take this, guys. Like, we just got too close to equilibrium. And yes, price could dump deep within discount. But I think we just stick to DAX, to be honest. Plus, again, price is already sold off. So I think that trade's definitely out of the picture right now. Let's see if DAX ends up selling off, reacts, and comes higher. I'd ultimately like to see it come and fill this entire imbalance, truly. I think we just filled on the 15. We're about to. All right, we just filled on the 15. Again, we could just end up selling off here too, which is fine. I just won't take it. Yeah, there's always going to be more opportunities, of course. So this is definitely going to be our entry if we do end up seeing price come back up here. UK 100 sold off, so again, the bias is playing out. We'll see if the bias plays out on UK 100 to the extent that I assumed it would, and that's filling the 4-hour. Looks like it is dumping way past that, but we'll see if price just ends up bottom wicking right back up. Nice reaction. Let's see if we get the break of the highs. That's a nice reaction though, guys. I can't lie to you. Let me send it in my Discord. Give me 1 second. I will be entering out to break that high. My limits are set, so. What's happening on NQ? We ripped higher. That's fine. You always trading UK? Yeah, UK 100, DAX. I also trade NASDAQ. We were going to trade UK 100, but it was just the fact that price sold off without having a pullback. It sold off too deep. Because again, if we look at it from a higher time frame standpoint, again, we're still bullish within like this 15-minute swing leg. So this is where I was willing to play that pullback down into discount. But now that we've already come into discount, I am not going to play sells, nor am I going to play buys. And the reason I don't want to play buys is because we are super overextended. My stop on DAX, guys, is at this last low here, is right beneath this low of this rejection candle. Entry at the break of these highs. So, but again, going back to UK 100, yes, we could ultimately react, go higher, 100%. But I just, especially in markets where we've been so bullish so long, especially within one leg, like just within this last leg here, we've been bullish for so long. Yes, that does not mean price has to sell off, but ultimately, I just don't favor those trades. I don't. I'd rather see price sell off first, make some type of new low, and then we could play sells further down. Okay. I mean, granted, if like price did come down and break this 15-minute low, we could even play like this larger time frame pullback. But that's if. That's if price does that. All right, am I in? Guys, I'm in. I'm in DAX. We'll give it a shot, guys. It's probably going to be last trade of the week. Again, first target is 101. First target's 101. Once we get to 101, if we get to 101, I'll move to break even. I'm going to close half my position, and then we'll let the rest run into 1 and 2. Ultimately, we had a very nice flip here, had a nice little bottom wick, facilitated the pullback. We're now re-breaking highs. I'm just hoping that we close above the highs now, and then we can ultimately look to continue to see price go higher and higher and higher. But going back to UK 100, again, what are we seeing? I told you guys, biggest bias from today for those sells was just seeing price come back down, rebalance this last 4-hour candle, and based off the based off the swing structure, in theory, we can go higher. I'm just not going to take the buys. Ultimately, we can, and you guys can, and they can definitely hit. But I just don't think price is going to continue to trend higher too much longer. And I could be so flat out fucking wrong. Yes, Benny Boss, I'm in DAX. I'm in DAX here. We're still at break even if you want to enter. I'm hoping we close above these highs. We're kind of just top wicking it, but we'll see what happens right now. Obviously, it looks great. Really quality trade. I love it. This is my bread and butter. But ultimately, that does not mean we're going to win here. But let's end the week with a W. You know, we had some profits yesterday. Again, granted, I could care less. Win or lose, like we're still going to end the month, or I'm still going to end the month really up. So we're just looking to capitalize a little bit more. As far as NASDAQ, we ended up going higher here. I really still kind of prefer sells, to be honest with you. But we'll see what happens. But this is our new low that we're looking to break. But again, going back to UK 100, we are reacting to that 4-hour. Honestly, I could expect price to go higher. And if it doesn't, that's even better for us, because as we go into a later time, if price does end up breaking this low, we could play that pullback of that new bearish leg, because we know that the equilibrium is sitting much lower within this hourly time frame, where we can definitely still catch that 1 to 2 if price does end up showing that it's flipping structure within that swing 15-minute structure. But again, looks like we are going to go higher here. I'm comfortable with DAX. No need to rush anything. DAX just needs to print higher here. I hope we don't see DAX do what it's fucking been doing for the past couple of days. I don't know if you guys remember yesterday, the day before, DAX opens with some good strong volume and then just fucking consolidates for 2 hours. Horrible, ugly. But again, we'll see. Again, like I really need to see price break above these highs. Not the best candle. Again, it was really nice in seeing price pull back and react higher. I just would have preferred seeing price end closing above these highs. So yeah, DAX is, again, like our first 2 trades on DAX this week have been losses, right? Yesterday was a win. Today we'll see what happens. But again, ultimately it's just going to build the data, right? Obviously, you know, that doesn't mean if I lose on DAX today, I mean, I've already told you guys this yesterday, but I lose more on DAX than I do UK 100. This is ugly. Come on, price. Give me a bottom wick here. Don't fuck around with me. As far as UK 100, my risk to reward, I go for 1 to 2. 1 to 2 risk to reward. So if we do end up seeing price make a flip, oops, we do see price make a flip here, we'll look for a pullback, some type of reaction, and then we'll play that internal structure or that internal bearish structure down into that discounted price. Don't fuck with me right now. Give me a second reaction off EQ. What am I looking at here, though? We are seeing price like rebalance this leg and now starting to sell off. To be 100% honest with you guys, if we did end up losing this trade, which we are coming down to stop loss pretty fucking fast, I just think we are probably going to see a little bit of more of a sell-off, maybe take some liquidity and then shoot right back up. That's honestly what I'm thinking. That could be the case, just because we didn't take much liquidity. Like we took liquidity here, which I like to see. Took liquidity of these lows, made a new high, pulled back, made another new high. But at this point, we were fucking losing. I'm pretty sure I'm out. Wow, the fastest fucking loss of my goddamn life. Am I still in? Alright, I'm still in on my broker. NQ dumping. Yeah, we still have NQ. But wow. I mean, I'm still in. Again, I put my stops beneath the lows at all times, but I think I'm about to be taken out. Yeah. Alright, I'm out. Quick loss. It is what it is. DAX has been treating us like that all week, but my bias stays the same. But let's pay attention to UK 100. I mean, NASDAQ, we are getting a break of this low. So at this point, we can use our fib. I knew it was going to do that. From the high to the low. Guys, what a shit week. Actually, I mean, it's not too bad. I can't lie to you. definitely my first losing week of the year. I don't think we've had a losing week all year until this week, at least on DAX and UK 100. Yeah, Benny Boss, 100%. Like, that's a good observation to make. Like, those are observations that I'm always making. But at the end of the day, like, I got to take my setup, because if I wouldn't have taken this setup and it won, at that point, I'm just holding back on what my system calls for. Obviously, if price does end up, hold on, guys, I need to pay attention here. All right, guys, if we see a pullback, a reaction at 50%, we see a reaction at 50% to go lower, I'm going to take these sells. But yeah, going back to your observation, Benny Boss, that's 100% a really good observation. Again, like, I'm always making observations like that, and it's just really based on how price continues to play out. Like, if DAX comes down, takes another form of liquidity, and then comes right back up, yes, we could re-enter. Am I? Maybe, maybe not. But again, that's ultimately going to be really good data as far as telling me, okay, maybe we don't trade the first minute. But a lot of the data I have is that first minute open, especially if it aligns with overall structure and my bias for the day, it tends to hit. I gotta watch this. So again, what we could be seeing too is just be seeing price came lower. It's still valid within this bullish trend. It still is. I mean, we could take another re-break of the highs if we wanted to, and that just depends if price does end up coming right back up. Could have just needed to come deeper, but again, that's where my stop loss is, at those new lows. Granted, since we didn't get that break, it is kind of a little bit of a fuck situation. But we'll see what happens. UK 100 is going higher. I'm not going to take buys here, guys. Again, you guys can. I'm not going to take them. If they go out and play out, great, good data. But I just don't like how bullish we have been. But again, that doesn't mean anything negative towards buys. Like, buys can definitely still play out. Just not my bread and butter. All right, let's pay attention here. If we see a reaction, I'm shooting. Again, I need to see price come into either 50%. We have a nice little order block right here. So it'd be nice to see price create a pretty nice top wick, have a nice bullish pullback, or like nice little top wick back to the downside. I said bullish, I meant bearish. And then ultimately, we're going to look for a break of the candle lows. We're just going to go for a nice little 1 and 2. So we still got NASDAQ under our belt. Yeah, we do see a lot of volume. And again, that the observation Benny Boss made could be a very valid observation. I've been keeping up to date with that too, as far as, are we entering too early? Again, like I said yesterday, my win rate after 1 a.m. is 100%. I haven't lost a trade that I've taken after 1 a.m. Right? But that doesn't mean in all cases that's where my wins are coming from. We have a lot of wins that happen from that opening candle, but the reason I preach data is because it's so important in understanding, okay, how many times is this happening? How many times is it not? Is it worth waiting? Is it not worth waiting? Because again, in some cases, if I would have waited and price would have played out, we would have just missed out on a bunch of profits. If I did wait, obviously in this case, in DAX's case, we would have saved ourselves from that first loss. But again, it's not always going to be the case. But it sucks. I was hoping to end with a fucking bang. Benny Boss, like, again, like, I'm not going to go and change anything just based off one trade, nor two. Like, I need to have, again, like, I have over a year of data on DAX and UK 100. Last year, our best setups came from the opening candle. It came from the opening candle. It came from that first minute, that first 2 minutes. I don't trade the 1 minute, so waiting for the 3 minutes really wouldn't change anything. Because again, like, even if we go back to here, what happened? In the first 3 minutes, price still ended up breaking these highs. So therefore, we would have still taken that loss. Thank you, Alvin. So therefore, again, like, even in that case, It's just most important here that I'm collecting data and seeing, okay, where did I go wrong here? Truly, we didn't go wrong as far as like our system and how we played it, but we could have gone wrong in the sense of entering early. But again, like everything played out beautifully. We could have had a wrong bias and price just may end up selling off today. Like I said, I am noticing price did end up reacting off of this imbalance here, having a nice little top wick, and that could lead price lower. We have Tokyo low sitting down here, so maybe price wants to come down and have a different objective in taking those lows. We are just absolutely ripping down here. Again, I need to see that pullback, guys. It's the only way I'll enter. And if price hits equilibrium before, we have that pullback, I will just wait and sit on my hands until price comes down, create some type of 1 minute internal bullish price action, then we can shoot higher. Wasn't DAX sales, got taken out of break even. We'll see what happens. Again, like it looks like it is going to sell off right now. Again, we are looking like we could come down into Tokyo lows, which are now. Ultimately, we could come deeper past it. Where I would be shocked is if we did end up breaking this 15-minute structure, just because, again, we have been trending bullish with it for not so long, but a couple of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, where realistically these lows should be protected and we shouldn't see a break of these lows. But ultimately, we're going to see. All right, guys, I'm not looking for sales anymore. The reason I'm not is because, again, like I was bullish from the get-go within this 5-minute leg. Now that we've facilitated the pullback within that 5-minute leg, yes, we could take a 1 minute reaction. Granted, we're not seeing the best 1 minute reaction, but at this point, I'd rather wait for price to come back bullish, create a new high, and then we can play that bullish internal structure. Because at that point, we have 2 time frames aligning. We have the 5-minute being bullish, and then we're waiting for that 1 minute to flip bullish as well to continue prices back higher. German prelim CPI. Could be affecting DAX. But granted, again, like it's not red folder, so I can't expect like the biggest impact. And again, I'm still going to wait for UK 100 too, because again, with UK 100, if we end up selling off, breaking these lows, I will play the pullback of this. And again, the reason I will look to play that pullback is because we're now invalidating a strong low. We know from a 1 hour standpoint, we are very bullish and we can facilitate a pullback deeper down. But what'd you buy it on? I'm not going to say your name, San. Your full name at least. It's crazy. Looks like we came down, took Tokyo lows, created a nice bottom wick, and we could shoot higher. And again, maybe I give this another chance. I would not take it at a rebreak of the highs. And the reason I wouldn't take it at a rebreak of the highs is because we have now flipped structure. We have now broken this last low. So I ultimately would want to see now price come back up, make a new high, pull back, and then we can play that pullback of that new bullish breaker structure. All right, let's pay attention to NAS. So we are getting that bullish impulse now, which is honestly highly expected being at the 5 minutes bullish. I don't mind seeing a break of this high and a pullback. I will shoot there. Preferably a break of these highs, but I'll still take a break of this high. Again, it looks like we are seeing that bullish pressure now. So again, we could have just entered a little bit too early, which again, you guys know there's nothing to really depict what's early and what's not. It's just a matter of how price plays out after entry and seeing that, okay, it was clear that we were too early, price needed to take some more liquidity. And again, this is also an observation as far as the understanding that fucking Henry, get out of here. You're always bottom ticking. I'm gonna ban you. And again, if price does end up coming higher, then that confirms we just needed to come down, take liquidity. We can take a break at this high, a pullback, and we can at least get our profits back, or our losses back, and a little bit of profits on the day. Yeah, Henry's going crazy on NQ. Fucking Henry. Fucking Henry. UK 100 is flying higher. Again, like it would have been nice to take this entry like at equilibrium and shoot higher here. But the reason I could not take that entry was because we already had that breakage structure. We already had that breakage structure pre-London. Therefore, I don't like taking a pullback entry and entering at equilibrium if we already made that new high, because it's just less probable. I'd like waiting for a new high to be made. But even on UK 100, if we made a new high, pulled back, yes, we can definitely continue higher, just continue pumping. But again, like I'd rather just, sit on my hands and kind of use that as data. So we are flying back up on DAX. Again, it's kind of going to show if we do end up re-breaking these highs. I'm not going to just get in at a re-break, guys. No way. Just because we ended up closing beneath this last internal low. Just not a fan of that, but we are seeing a nice little flip within price. And in this case, I am more comfortable playing the retest compared to DAX, and that's solely because the daily time frame, we still have targets on the daily time frame. And again, like that's not primarily the reason I'm not taking on UK 100. Like again, like based off the data that I went and deep dive back into, we can take, buys into no man's land, meaning, like no targets, it's all-time highs. But it's just the fact that we've been bullish for so long. At some point, I do think we will see a pullback. It may not be today, it may not be next week, but at some point we will. And ultimately, I'd rather wait for price to start pulling back and then play that accordingly. DAX and UK 100 moving very similar right now. Fire, Henry. Why didn't you tell me to enter? Just kidding, guys. Hopefully we'll still see another entry here. I just want to get that confirmation that price is going to move bullish here with a break at that high, and then ultimately a continuation. We could come deeper too. We could most definitely come deeper. Excuse me. Oh, you don't trade crypto? No, I don't trade crypto. Sorry. I do not trade crypto. Guys, I'm not talking to myself. Again, if you guys are in YouTube chat, I also am live in Discord. If you guys are in Discord, I'm also live on YouTube. If you did not know. Cam frozen? Oh no, it is frozen. Why the fuck? Oh, my camera died. But alright, guys, hold on. Un segundo. YouTube, give me a second. Camera died. I'm back. Let me fix this camera, guys. Hold on. Boom, we're back. All right. I'm back. We back. And he's getting a little bit of a sell-off, but that's fine. Europe getting funnier every day, King. I know. You're in the Netherlands will get fucked because of crypto. No, damn. Yeah, you are gonna get fucked. UK 100 is going higher. Again, like based off this trade, if I were to be taking these buys right now, guys, it would be to break these highs. I'm not gonna shoot here. Big stop loss. That doesn't really make much of a difference. But we'd be looking for, realistically, for our first TP, a 41-point move, which obviously is doable based off the fact that we are still bullish. But I'm not a fan. And I could be so wrong here for not taking buys. But at the same time, yesterday looked horrible off the start. Did end up ripping up higher. But I'd rather wait to see what happens here. I hope DAX doesn't start consolidating again, guys. If it does, we're going to blame Henry. Truly. I know, Benny Boss. Don't make me call my friends again, Henry. No. Yeah. Again, like I'm still looking for a trade. Obviously, UK 100. Like, yes, you guys can. Like, I'm not gonna take buys. You guys can definitely take buys if you guys feel like it. And again, like I'm very much understanding of the fact that I could be going wrong here and not taking buys in this bullish structure. But I'm never been a fan of buying at such a high price. But ultimately, if this is something that's going to continuously happen, we've seen it basically all week. If it's going to be something that continues to happen, even going into, next week, obviously, we can make some type of adjustment based off the data that I'm collecting and, continue to shoot for highs as long as price is still bullish, right? Again, like obviously you guys know the ideology, trade within the trend. But obviously, we're only going to buy it for so long before we see price pull back into a discounted area. And that's just really where I don't want to get caught in buys at highs. Like if we were further down, like the buys down here should have been taken. Definitely we know we went over that. The buys within here, I really did not care not taking these. Didn't really have a setup on lower time frames, and price kind of consolidated and didn't want to break that high for 5 hours. That was not a good sign. We did end up breaking these highs, and again, we can definitely continue higher here. But ultimately, we have just been trending for so long that I'm just not a fan. My friends with the Frankfurt boys can win the DAX. I wouldn't doubt it, Henry. Wouldn't fucking doubt it. Oh, I wish so bad that UK 100 had some better structure to play off. I mean, it has great structure to play off of. It's just the fact of the matter is we're super overextended. You actually do, Henry? Tell bro to pump DAX up a little bit so we can break structure. Tell him to sell off a little bit, and then we can get in. Simple. Come on, Henry. The fuck? The fuck, Henry? Ugh, I'm so tempted to take these buys, guys, but at the end of the day, like, being that I'm not confident in taking the buys, like, I'm not going to take them, guys. And that's like one thing that, I don't know if I talk about it a lot, calling Nick Handle Henry. That's one thing I like talk about a lot, or I don't know if I talk about it a lot, is if I am not necessarily 100% confident in a trade, but if I'm not solely sold over on a trade, I am not going to take it. Even if it fucking wins, loses, break even, whatever. What's up, fuckers? We're back. Yes, sir. Oh my gosh. Guys, hold on. We might be taking NQ soon. I don't know if YouTube's back. I could care less right now. Can you guys hear me? Hopefully. Give me a second. I literally watched my fucking internet box. Oh my gosh, and it fucking reset. No reaction yet, guys. What a day. If this reaction candle's heavy off 50%, guys, I will be shooting here. Got a break of the high. Oh my god. I am just like all over the place. I don't even think YouTube's back up. If we just blow through this, we'll wait for the next reaction point. I need to see a good reaction. Alright, can you guys hear me though? Oh my gosh, is it flipped upside down? Am I tweaking? No, I'm not. Henry, don't fucking play with me. Ugh, not the best reaction. Not the best reaction. If we get another tap into EQ and another bottom wick, then I will consider entering here, but I just don't like the indecision candle. Again, like when it comes to it, DAX. The internet fucked me up, guys. Alright, DAX. We just missed the break of that high. Again, this is why I don't enter just off little fucking reactions like that. I need something of... Let's see if we get a reaction here. Off 7%. Just fucking missed it. Of course. I fucking blame Henry. Thank you, Henry. Even though you cut my internet off. Alright, guys, if we see a nice little bullish reaction from here after tapping the 71%, I will enter. But obviously, if we just keep blowing further down, it's just not worth taking it. We could see price continue lower, and therefore, I'm not going to take it. But we'll see. We'll see how price reacts. Oh, that's the 1 minute. Oh, no, we didn't break, guys. That's not a break for me. Alright, guys. I could be taking these buys. I'll shoot, potentially. We need to see this candle closure, and then I'll take a break of the highs. Good reaction. Close, bitch. Oh, my God. Can you close? Still don't like that fucking reaction, guys. Hopefully we see another fucking bottom wick formed here. Low key. Not a fan of the reaction. Not a fucking fan. I'm gonna wait. I remove my entry as of right now. I'll wait to see how this candle reacts. If we have another reaction with another bottom wick and a nice bullish flip, I will enter. But ultimately, this candle did look good as we continued higher and higher. Not gonna enter yet. Just give it some time. We'll be fine. That's a nice flip. We know price has reacted, so we can delete that. Just waiting. Just waiting. Let's see how candle closes here. Again, once this candle closes, I will be entering. Even though we are getting pushed up a little bit higher, that's fine because ultimately we're seeing the reaction that I wanted to see. See, that was even fucking horrible. I'm going to take a break of these highs, though. I still like the reaction down here. We had 3 different reactions, so I'll shoot here. Break of these highs. Shooting for buys. We'll see what happens. UK 100 struggling to go higher. Yeah, the stream is a roller coaster ride, Henry. Dude, honestly, when the internet went down, I was about to just fucking log out for the fucking night. I was gonna text Henry. Oh, my bad. I just fucked up YouTube. It was back. It was working again. Am I good? Still haven't got entry, guys. We never broke that high. Oh, it's never broke the high. If we do end up coming back down, closing beneath 71%, we won't take the trade. Henry, tell him to break this fucking high. Again, guys, I need to see a break of this high with an actual body closure of a candle. I'm surprised everyone on YouTube stayed around. I don't have your digits, I know. Iconic, I'm buying only once we see a little nice bullish push here. Ultimately, I don't like that we don't have a bottom wick there. Can't lie to you. I mean, my bias is clean as far as we saw nice little bullish break of structure, had a pullback on the 5-minute. We're seeing some 1-minute bullish price action now. So ultimately, I am now looking for a price just to continue higher. But I need to see a break of this area here. Once we get a break, I'll shoot. Again, NQ hasn't been treating us too well. Granted, we only have one trade on NQ. Literally every other fucking trade has either barely missed our area, or 3 trades this week that missed our area and ran off. That's fucking $1,800 in profit. Minusing the loss, $1,500. But again, like, I can't control when the market just doesn't want to give us what we want. It's giving us very good price action, other than we're not seeing the areas of interest being tapped like they should be. Thank you, Henry. Keep making those calls, my man. Again, guys, we did end up taking an initial loss if you guys just joined up here on DAX, where we did take a break of these highs here. Stops are at these lows. Took a quick little loss. But again, that is fine because we are now seeing price still come back up. And that is ultimately telling us, one, all right, guys, I'm in UK 100. Let's see how things go here. We could get absolutely fucking smacked here. Ultimately, again, once I get to 101, I'm moving to break even. And then, yeah. But that's if. Honestly, like NASDAQ has just not been our fan. I haven't been a fan of it lately. I can't lie to you. Can't fucking lie to you. Our 101's about right there. So once we hit there, we'll go risk-free, break even. I'm not going to take profits, but I'll go risk-free. Yeah, sorry. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I got all fucking over the place, bro, when my internet cut off. That shit was just gnarly, man. I should have just stayed off. In NQ trade, yeah. I'm a shoot. We look pretty good here. It's my setup. So I got to shoot. I would really like it a lot more if we would have been able to secure some profits earlier in the week. But again, like everything that went on this week, the one loss that we had, the other trades that did end up missing our entry point, but ended up taking off in our direction. I've already gone back, and I'm going to go back and get a lot of data going back to those trades and seeing, okay, could we have done anything differently? Obviously, I don't think there is. But, you know, there could be. Oh, my God. We may just take a quick loss here. What a fucking week for me. I mean, I could care less here. Truly. But, obviously, I still want to fucking win. Nice bottom wick, but price is already kind of consolidating within these last couple candles here. If the same shit happens yesterday, where we get fucking wicked out and price ends up going bullish, I don't know. Obviously, we're still going to trade it. Price is just being a little fucking bitch right now. Thank you, Henry. All right, guys, we're seeing price come higher. It sucks. Even if our stops were at these lows, guys, which technically should have been protected within that internal structure, it is still kind of failing. What it looks like did happen on DAX is price ended up coming down, taking Tokyo lows, which is a massive form of liquidity. Ultimately, we did take some liquidity prior to that bullish push where we did end up entering, so that's where I was comfortable with it. But again, this is really good data. Since we took that first loss, obviously, now that we're now breaking these highs, if we close above these highs, I could play that pullback now back higher just because, again, we took liquidity. We are changing character back to the upside. So there's still potential of catching something on DAX today. And that's really where I care more than not. Dude. Fucking NQ, man. That's me. You got stop loss in place fire. Warning code tracker, push by legacy, original target, my funding. You should be able to in your dashboard. Guys, what are we doing here? Price look good, price look bad, price look good, price look bad, price look good. But again, this is where I care more than not is DAX. Again, I do trade my live account when it comes to DAX, so being that I'm unfunded, I mean, I could really care less. But obviously, again, I still want to win. It is being a fucking ass. It's been an ass this entire week. Literally, this week of fucking NQ during London has traumatized me. And that's just based off the fact that we had 3 opportunities where price barely missed our entry point, went our direction. The 2 trades that we actually get to fucking take, 1, we lose, wicks us out and goes our direction, and 2, the next one that we're in fucking consolidates. I don't know. Can't do much about it though. Technically, we got to break at the high. I'd like to see another break. But at this point, again, what am I waiting for? Now that we're changing character, I am confident. Instead of entering at a re-break of the highs after the pullback, I'm honestly confident in entering at the 50%. Stops at the lows. Obviously, we're going for 1 or 2. But we need to see that pullback occur first. All right, we're going to lose, guys. I'm going to just call it there. Unless we consolidate, but I'm pretty sure we're going to fucking lose on NQ. But I care more about DAX. Yeah, honestly, I could have taken that 5-minute Henry down here, but I wanted to wait for that extra confirmation, but that extra confirmation didn't do fuck all for us, besides consolidate. UK 100, again, same thing as yesterday. We come up to these highs and we're just struggling. If we would have taken these highs, obviously we would have been still about break even. But this is just not a good sign overall. I'm not saying price can't end up ripping higher. 100% it can. But when we see stuff like this, it's just showing that price is struggling. Mark, honestly, this month was better than last month for me. It's just this week that's been fucking with me. Like, honestly. It's really just been this week. Yeah, guys, DAX is ripping higher. So again, guys, the bias for DAX is once we get that pullback, if we get that pullback, obviously we could have sent up ripping higher here. That would suck, 100%, because then obviously no setup. But I would like to see the pullback of that leg. But what sucks even now is now that we're breaking this 15-minute high, if we do end up closing above this high, we kind of have to switch our entry. Just a little bit, because technically, actually not even just a fucking little bit, god damn. Technically, if we break that 15-minute high, we are now playing within this 15-minute structure. So I wouldn't necessarily want to take that pullback of that first 5-minute leg. Yes, we can react off of it, but ultimately, now that we're breaking and possibly making a new high in the 15-minute, we could have a deeper pullback to facilitate the pullback of this 15-minute leg to then go higher. I am honestly shocked that we're still in NQ, guys. I am shocked. I'm not saying the setup wasn't good. The setup was fucking phenomenal, but just We were getting fucked over on that consolidation. Thanks for the DAX call. I mean, if you guys caught the DAX call, fuck yeah. Like, I'm glad you guys caught that. I, again, got taken out in my first entry, but I'm still willing to enter again. Damon, no, I'm not in DAX anymore. Again, my first entry got wicked out. Looks like we came down, took some more liquidity. Now we're coming up a little bit higher. I didn't want to take a break of these highs just because, well, again, like, we did end up breaking and making a new 5-minute low based off this internal structure, I could say. That's why, that's a reason I didn't want to take it. But two, now that we're coming up and making new highs here, and ultimately knowing that if we would have taken this, we could have made new highs. And as we make new highs, we could pull back significantly deeper into the 50% and then go higher. Which, again, that does give us a way bigger fucking stop. Ugh, ugly. Ugly. Oh my god. NQ needs to do something, guys. What's DAX on Legacy? DAX is not on Legacy. Sorry, guys. That's why I'm trading NAS, but NAS is just like fucking with my feelings. Again, guys, like, I'm not an emotional trader. Like, I could care less if I lose. It's just a matter of how prices treated us this week. Obviously, every week's not going to be a good week. It's not. But, again, like, we had a pretty good month, especially on DAX and UK 100, to lead up to a bad week. It's just, it's not optimal. It's just not nice. Pull out to fill a gap. Yeah, low-key, I'm considering it. Once we fill this gap here. If we even fucking get to that point, we've just been consolidating. UK 100 is kind of going higher here, guys. See, that's why I don't like that 15-minute. Like, I like the 15-minute, being that we are still bullish, but as soon as we break these highs, we know, one, price could just continue to run, and then I just don't take the trade. We take the loss, walk away for the day, whatever. But two, going back to DAX, obviously we can break these highs, still pull back into here. Obviously, okay, no. Why am I tweaking? I would enter here. So we're actually good when it comes to our TP. And the reason I say we're good is because we know that we can target these highs here. Because again, from a daily time frame, daily standpoint, we are bullish and we can't expect these highs to be taken. Bruh. I don't know what the fuck's going on here, guys. Fuckery. That's what's going on. I didn't take UK 100, guys. I held back here. Honestly, I may just, after we break these next highs, I may just consider going to break even. Just because of how fucking choppy price has been, guys. Can't lie to you. Alright, guys. I'm moving to break even. It's a little bit of early break even, guys, but price is just choppy. I mean, we may still make it to that 101 where we know that, you know, that's where I typically move to break even. But we're just looking horrible. Fucking horrible. I'm break even. So risk-free trade on NQ. Obviously we look good for buys. Like we still look good. I'm still gonna hold for my 1 to 2, guys. But let's see if we end up filling this gap and reacting lower. But we're at break even. Risk-free trade. So if you guys got in, you guys should be risk-free as well. I'd say go to risk-free just because, again, like, we just have not had any volume after that entry. We had volume, and we just stopped. Just absolutely fucking stopped out of nowhere. All right, we're at a break even. I'm fine with that. I'm so fucking fine with that. I just wanted to get out of that trade. It was just a fucking ugly. We'll see what happens. We'll see if price does end up continuing higher. But again, I'm still waiting here. I'm gonna wait on stream until we get a break. Please, I don't want to argue. I mean, Michael, you should be good for a payout. It's 50% consistency, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 50%. %, unfunded. Are you within your 30%, Michael? Nas is still kind of fucking chopping around here, guys. I mean, we still could end up seeing higher prices, but I'm at a break even. Took a $7 loss. I'm fucking. It's break even for me. I'm gonna mark up our UK 100, guys. Again, I didn't take this, but I'm gonna just mark it up to see if we would have taken this. Are we gonna get to our 101 where we would be moving to break even? Yeah, Michael, you have to get that consistency down a bit. Just means you got to continue to trade. Yeah. Yeah, Michael. We're seeing some crazy all-time highs on UK 100 these last couple weeks, I can't lie. Alright, we're ripping higher here, guys. That just means our area gets kind of stretched out a bit. Sadly means our stop's getting fucking bigger. Fucking Henry. Fuck you. I wanted Dax to push higher and then give me a pullback. Fuck you, Henry. I know they're valid. I just wanted to get out of that fucking chop. I mean, we'll see if price ends up coming down, taking us out of break even. I mean, again, I'm already out of break even, but based off where I usually go to break even, 1-to-1, I believe we just now hit it. So we'll see if price does end up coming back down into our original entry point where. Yeah, I know it did. It's just not moving good, guys. Like, I like playing volume. I like when we have volume. We did not have volume. What do you mean DAX had multiple pullbacks? Maybe on the 1 minute, but I don't trade the 1 minute. Nor did we even have a break until we saw we had that pullback before we even had that full break of structure. Yeah, I don't really trade 1 minute. Guys, I have a feeling price is going to fly here. Can't lie to you, we could have bagged out here. Ugh, what a week. I'm going to just end it. What a fucking week. Who's still in NQ? Yeah, we're going to fly. I'm not re-entering though. I'm just going to wait for DAX, guys. Can't lie, NQ was a heater. Can't lie to you, we should still be in this trade. Oh yeah, we are going to see a new hourly. Oh my god, it looks good too. I should have looked at the fucking hourly. The hourly looks so good, guys. Seeing price pull back, rebalance, bottom wick back up. We're going to fly. So if you guys are still in, you guys should most likely hit 1 and 2, unless price does have an impulse back down into break even. Again, like I'm already at a break even, but I do think we're going to bottom wick and flip, unless we bottom wick heavy. But I do think we're just going to see a nice little push into that original 1 and 2. I mean, if you guys are in this at this point, like we did hit 101 of our initial range, so I would really recommend you being at break even, just in case price does flip. We're bottom wicking. Looks like we could just bottom wick and flip. We'll see though. All right, guys, let's go over my buy. So NQ, you guys know I got out at break even. We'll see what continues to happen. Again, I'm ultimately going to go and look to get data off of this, just because I will admit I did exit at break even a little bit sooner than what I usually would. I mean, obviously, price could still come back down and would have taken us out of break even either way. That could happen, or it could rip higher. Ultimately, we're going to go get data off of this. Even though I moved to break even early, I'm still going to get data off of this. It was a beautiful entry. I liked my entry. It was solid. We had a nice reaction. It was just the fact that right after we entered, you know, we saw a nice, good bit of volume in the markets. We entered, and price just started to take an absolute fucking dump and just not really show any movement. Either way, we would have been taken out of break even. But again, still going to get some data. NQ is my fault. No, Henry, I wouldn't even profited. You're chilling. Either way, would have been taken out of break even. And it's probably still going to rip, guys. Like, here's the thing. Price is probably still going to go higher here. I can't lie to you, right? We have a very good bias as far as the hourly looks very strong for buys. The 5 minute looks strong for buys. The 1 minute looks strong for buys. But again, would have still been taken out of break even, so it doesn't really matter to me. As far as DAX, again, we've now made a new 15-minute high, so I'm not really going to play this 5 minute leg. Yes, price could come back and still look to play that 5 minute leg, but now that we're making a new high, the reason I'm going to play the 15-minute leg is because at the end of the day, we could see... Wait, no, I'm tripping. It is still this leg. Tripping dick. Yeah. Wow. Glad I caught that. So it is still this leg that we can play, because this was our 15-minute low here. Again, where we had that pullback, had that push, had that pullback. We just came a little bit deeper to take liquidity, have that push. It's actually a little bit better for us. So ultimately just waiting for that pullback now. Once we come back into 50%, I will be entering aggressively at 50%. as long as we come back down into there. We'll shoot 1000%. As far as UK 100, again, nothing on the day. Did not want to take these buys. Again, I'm going to obviously make some very good observations depending on what price does. If price does come into 101, then that goes to show we would have definitely profited at least, 0.5 RR, because based off my management plan, I close half my position, move to break even, and let the rest run to 1 to 2. Obviously, I'm going to continue to monitor it, see if price does end up expanding higher. If it doesn't, okay. Based off that, we could say that it was a smart idea to not enter buys, even if we do end up buying up. I still don't care that it did enter buys. Again, I don't like buying in these conditions where we do look good from a lower time frame standpoint, from a 4-hour standpoint. I just have never been too fond of buying at such high prices because we are just more susceptible at a higher probability to a pullback. Obviously, that doesn't mean we are going to pull back. Yeah, we're melting off. So again, good thing we got out of break even. Good thing. Going back to UK 100, again, if it does end up going higher, I'll go back and say, okay, we could have just continued within that bullish trend, 1000%. I'll admit to that. But again, we still have DAX. Again, we took that first initial loss, but I'm looking to make that back and a little bit more. Would be nice to see. But again, this is a very high probability setup. I like it. It looks strong. I think we just need to obviously see that pullback. We can enter a little bit aggressively just because we are seeing that new leg being created within London. Therefore, it just kind of gives me an idea of where direction is going. But again, if price doesn't pull back into equilibrium and I don't get entry before 2 a.m., I will just remove my limits. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. But we'll see what happens. So I'm out of here, guys. Honestly, I had a good month. This last week didn't kill me, right? We're still up for the month. Still had a really nice month. Let's look to capitalize on this last DAX trade. But it was, again, DAX was basically our losing market this week. And again, obviously there's a lot of data going into or coming out of the markets that are giving me an idea of, again, what I could be looking for differently. Obviously, I'm not going to change anything. There's nothing to be changed. No way, shape, or form. There's not enough data for me to go and change anything. But obviously there is stuff to make observations on, right? And that's where I'm going to go back, make observations and see, could I have waited on this entry here, right? Obviously, price could have just shot here, and if I would have waited, we could have missed out on that initial push because it goes to show price wanted to go bullish. That was clear as day. But obviously, price's objective at London was to take some more liquidity, then go bullish, right? And that could be a very big piece of data going in the future because it may tell us to wait for some type of liquidity sweep. Granted, we did have a nice liquidity sweep here where we took these lows here and then expanded higher. But ultimately, we could have waited a little bit. It is what it is. Really can't complain. But at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. I'll see you guys next week. I'll be back the entire week. Let's kill it. We're going into a new month. So stats don't reset, right? Obviously, we're up for the year. We're up for the month. But let's have a great fucking month next month. Let's have a great fucking month. Have a great weekend, guys. Always feel free to DM me. If you guys want an instant account, again, you can DM me. Instant funded accounts for legacy, at least. And again, if you guys just want to go, get yourself an account. With 15% off, you can go. Use code Nick. Get yourself a nice little discount. That being said, you guys are awesome. I would love to DM you on your number. See, fucking Henry. I'm scared now. But again, I appreciate all you guys. You guys have been great. Again, this week was my first losing week of the year. Happens. But that's why risk management is so important, guys, because we still ended the month up. Can't complain. Can't be mad. But your guys' goal this weekend is to go back. If you took trades with me, if you didn't even take trades with me, go back, go over data, refine. Maybe not even refine. Just make observations and see where could there have been better entries in some cases. Where could there have been not better entries? And go based off that. I'm out of here. You guys are awesome. I can DDoS you anyways. I can see. Don't be scared. Fucking Henry. Guys, why is Henry making me want to send him my number? I'm gonna send you my business number. My second phone that I never use and just sits off to the side. I'm out of here, guys. You guys are awesome. Later, YouTube.